Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another Minecraft biology lesson. In this one we're going to take a look at the Enderman. Now as you can see right here, we have taken the tall long-legged fella, we've split him in half so that we can see all of his gizzards, and I have to say, there is a ton of really interesting bits and pieces going on here. There's loads of different circuits that I can explain, so let's crack on. I reckon a good place to start is probably the head. So first things first, we're going to be taking a look at the brain of this thing, and funnily enough, it doesn't actually deal with the sight or the sound of the Enderman. The sound happens just beneath, and the sight seems to happen in the arm, which is very bizarre indeed. All of the head is used for teleportation. Now, there are two different circuits going on here. One of them I understand, one of them I completely don't. We're going to take a look at that one first, and that is this thing right here. Now, this is the Teleportation Sensor. As you can see, there is some very strange stuff going on. We've got end crystals, we've got enderite in the middle, we've got bedrock going on, purple, and even some weighted pressure plates. It's all very strange, but I believe this is where the Enderman actually gets the power to do the teleporting, and this is how it actually teleports. Now, the way that it decides where to teleport is actually really interesting. It uses quite an old school redstone technique, and that is these chicken randomizers right here. Now, we've got one for the x-axis, one for the y-axis, and one for the z-axis, and then the final one is for the time axis. So this is where it decides when it's going to teleport and where it's going to teleport to. Now, I'm just going to warn you, the way that this thing works is really quite bizarre, so you're going to have to bear with me on this one. But each one of the chickens has got himself a pressure plate. When the chicken stands on the pressure plate, it will turn off the redstone torch. Now, if all four chickens are standing on their pressure plates, all four of the redstone torches are going to be turned off, which means that all of this redstone is going to turn off. Then as soon as one of the chickens moves, all of the redstone will turn back on, and all of our dispensers will fire. Now, inside these dispensers, we have got lingering potions of healing, which will go right the way up into the teleportation center, causing the Enderman to teleport to the location dictated by the chickens. I know, it sounds completely ridiculous, but honestly, that's the way that the Enderman works. So, popping just below now into the body of the Enderman, we have got the noise area. Now, this place right here is the noise generator of the Enderman. As you guys know, these guys are incredibly noisy. I mean, they're probably the noisiest mobs in Minecraft apart from ghasts, and they make some pretty disgusting noises, and this is what is controlling them. So as you can see, we've got a bunch of note blocks here, and we've got a bunch of redstone torches out the back, with a bunch of pressure plates out the front, and inside this little area right here, there is in fact an endermite that travels back and forth, creating a ton of noise. It chooses the noise that it wants to play, and it will play it frequently. Moving on to this rather strange little circuit down at the bottom here, this is known as the tremor circuit. Now, everyone knows that when an Enderman gets angry, it begins to shake uncontrollably, and that's actually caused by this little system down at the bottom here. What we've got is a hopper clock with comparators running into sticky pistons with gold blocks on top, and gold blocks mathematically are the heaviest blocks in the game. They're hugely heavy, and those things moving around inside the Enderman actually cause it to shake. So as you can see right here, we flick this lever, or when the Enderman triggers it, they start moving up and down, and that is what causes the Enderman to move around. So it's not sort of being really angry and just shaking in sheer furiousness. It's actually caused by a physical system, which is pretty cool, I think. Now onto the legs. Now, of course, Enderman legs are incredibly skinny, so there's not too much space for any complex redstone mechanisms, but there are a few very interesting bits and bobs in here that I'm really excited to show you. So first off, we have got the knee joint, which involves some strange muscle mechanics and some strange bone mechanics as well that don't seem to make too much sense, but they seem to work quite nicely in the Enderman, so we're going to leave that alone because this is where things get really, really interesting. Now, this part right here is the water detector, and it completely blows my mind. So first off, we have got some sponges down at the bottom. As soon as the Enderman stands in some water, of course, they become wet sponges, which fires this bud switch, which runs into all of this redstone, which fires this redstone lamp. Now, this redstone lamp is incredibly special because it is the only example of wireless redstone in Minecraft. So if we quickly pop back up to the head, we've got ourselves a redstone lamp next to the time chicken. This redstone lamp is connected to the redstone lamp down at the bottom, and it sends a signal through into the time chicken, which then tells the teleportation center to teleport instantly. Teleport now. Do not consult with the X, Y, and Z chickens because that will take too long. It just has to teleport away from the water as soon as possible. Now, there is a slight problem with this, of course, because if it does do that, then it doesn't know where it's going to be teleporting to. And we've all seen it happen. The Enderman teleports into another batch of water, then teleports away into another batch of water. I mean, that seems to be the way that things go, because of course it is a panic response, which means that it's not exactly perfect. Finally, onto the last part of the Enderman, and that is the arms. Now, these things are incredibly important because they're used for picking up blocks and completely ruining landscapes. I mean, I'm not salty about that, I promise, but anyway, we'll move on from that, because as you can see right here, we've got ourselves a bunch of item frames, and inside these item frames are all of the blocks that Enderman can pick up. Now, on top of this, we've got a redstone line which runs up into these pistons right here. When the Enderman sees a block that it wants to pick up, these pistons will actually extend, causing the arms to extend outwards in front of the Enderman. Now, this means that it's ready to pick up the block, but the way that it actually holds the block is pretty incredible. I was always wondering how the Enderman holds onto his block so tightly. It's because look at these crazy grippers it's got. I mean, there are loads of teeth right there. They hold on incredibly tightly, so never try and remove anything from an Enderman's hands. So we have it, ladies and gents, that is the inside of an Enderman. That is everything from top through to bottom, every single mechanism that makes up the Enderman that we know. And I have to say, I'm completely blown away by how complex these things are. We had all of the teleportation circuits, we've got all the noise circuits, the trembling, the water detection, the arm detection, the block gripping, everything. It's all completely bonkers, and I'm very glad that we took a look at what's inside this thing. But let me know down in the comments section what you want to see the inside of next. But unfortunately, that's all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.